includes a handful of mannequins with larger bodies, bodies in wheelchairs, pregnant bodies, trans bodies, and bodies with missing limbs. Costume Institute curator Andrew Bolton says the goal of this...
Oh my god. So the Met Gala happened this week where we saw many celebrities dressing their best, trying to impress us with their high fashion tastes. Some of these outfits were just so hilarious that I had to come on here and react to them with you guys. Let's have a look at some of these looks.
What were you listening to? Getting ready.
Sam Smith is just so cringe. Anyone remember Gandalf the They? But in my view, he looks a bit like a pantomime dame here. It actually looks like he's playing the evil witch in a pantomime. He looks like Ursula the Sea Witch or some sort of bizarre fortune teller. And actually, look at that very cute guy next to him dressed in black. You know, I think he looks much better. Do you agree? Just the cringeness of this man, how he's one of the key representatives of my supposed community in the public eye. I feel like every time he makes a statement, he makes us look worse, he makes a fool of himself. And it is sad to see the downfall of him, really, because you see many comparisons of what he used to look like to how he looks like now. You become queer, and the queer aesthetic, it kind of just seems to make people look more disgusting. They think to look like that is kind of anti-establishment. No, I think beauty still has legitimacy and a real standard. Not a fan. It's a no from me on that one. Next we have Rachel Zegler, which was probably one of the most controversial videos online.
She's fine, guys.
Now I've got to say, the dress is not bad at all as far as dresses go. I don't think it's as ridiculous as some of the other outfits. You know, it has a subtlety to it, which is quite nice. I like the color white on her. But this pathetic thing on her face, I don't understand. What is she trying to represent? And it just looks like a flimsy kind of sanitary towel that she's popped on her face. It makes no sense. I think what got people with this video is the very odd movements of her jaw. Did you notice that? Because it was the first thing I saw, was her kind of, you know, basically gurning her jaw as she was posing for the camera. And I've got to say, the first thing I thought was she's on cocaine. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just her ADHD meds. I don't know. I think there's a pretty good chance. I'm sure lots of these celebrities do cocaine at these kind of events. And what I enjoyed most of all were all of the parodies of this. So check this one out.
She's fine, guys.
Cringe. Rachel Zegler is so disappointing because she is so talented. I don't know if you agree, but if you've seen West Side Story with her, amazing. Amazing voice, great actress. I love everything about that movie and her, but she's the most insufferable woke celebrity you could possibly come across. And similar to Cynthia Erivo, Elphaba and Wicked, who's absolutely incredible, you know, they really damage their image and reputation, and they don't let their talent speak for themselves. They turn themselves into the most insufferable people. So it's sad for her, and you know, she really had bad success with that bizarre Snow White movie. It's a no from me. Maybe yes on the dress, no on the cocaine. Next up here is Cardi B. Now, so this tweet about her says, Cardi B went to the Met Gala as an intestine. And look, I don't want to come across like some grumpy old man in this video, because yes, the Met Gala is about, you know, haute couture and high fashion is always pretty weird. It's not like people going down runways would wear something that you would just say, oh, I want to wear that to a wedding or something like that. But it does come a point when all these celebrities are trying to make such a big statement and gain so much attention, where they wear something that is so impractical and uncomfortable. And in this case, just looks like she has a bunch of scrotums on her, that it starts to seem a bit strange to me, and like we're in a different world. It's more like postmodernism, where people say like a banana skin pinned to a wall has just as much artistic value as a Van Gogh painting, which I think all of us know is not true, right? Here's a non-binary actor, Cole Escala, who uses they, them pronouns, attends the Met Gala. Not a fan, in my opinion. I think, it could have been something nice wearing a suit, but the eyelashes are a bit weird. And, this one is one of my personal favorites. And again, this dress situation, not too bad, I suppose. Not really a fan of those gloves. Ollie London was posting all about this, says Sarah Paulson wears dollar bill over her eyes to call out the 1%. The actress, who is worth an estimated 12 million, used her outfit to call out the world's elite while attending the 100,000 per person Met Gala. Isn't it crazy how all these celebrities are socialists? It's sad how they don't understand the effects their policies will have on the average working people. So she's cringe, she's crisp. What is she, guys? She's quiche. Next. Now this one was just all over the internet. Music is very solemn. So what are we seeing here? Well, I'm going to let this news broadcast speak for it.
Let's talk about model and musician Ariana Rose Phillip, who celebrated her first gala. Phillip, who has quadriplegic cerebral palsy, is recognized as the first Black transgender and physically disabled model to sign with a major agency. She said, "Girls, I've made it."
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
Quite
cool.
a moment.
Stunning in all black.
So Phillip was one of the human models for mannequins at this year's popular Met Gala Costume Institute exhibit. The exhibit is called Costume Art, includes a handful of mannequins with larger bodies, bodies in wheelchairs, pregnant bodies, trans bodies, and bodies with missing limbs. Costume Institute curator Andrew Bolton says the goal of this year's exhibit is to reclaim the body.
Oh my God, where did this term come from? Like black bodies, queer bodies, larger bodies, pregnant bodies. They are people. They're human beings. And pregnant people are just women. And when it comes to this individual, this trans, disabled, POC, maybe has ADHD kind of thing, I did not enjoy the level of hate he got online. I think that's not called for. But it does just show where we've got to in the whole DEI industry, how it's not enough to be Black. It's not enough to be disabled. Like, you have to kind of tick as many of these boxes as possible. Trans as well. He's got that going on. All of this just improves your social standing, no matter what kind of career you're trying to enter, whether it's really in your lane. It's just seen as, a great thing. Oh, he also said bodies without limbs. I mean, how ridiculous. But if you look at him, I'm really not trying to make fun of a disability here, but I think it's quite fitting that his hand is doing that, because it looks like he's like, I'm so fabulous, But maybe this guy is, a super sweet, nice individual. Let's see a TED Talk he did.
When I first started working, I was an anomaly to the industry. Arguably, in many ways today, really I still am. I think it's time to say the quiet part out loud. The fashion industry is unlikely to book or pay Black trans feminine and or physically disabled models to do runway, editorial, and or campaign because of an absence of whiteness.
My sympathy for these people really runs thin when they say stuff like that. Like, of course, he has success despite all of his challenges, and he's still eager to blame white people somehow. Ever heard of Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks? These people go way back, and they're not white. I mean, I think there's loads of attractive, amazing Black models. Black people far more have those cheekbones, I think. I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I don't think it's nice to think some people should just be excluded from something entirely, but then is every career in everyone's lane at the same time? I don't really think so. I mean, I could claim there's not enough gay representation in modeling and demand that I'm accepted, but I know that I don't have the talent or the right look to be a model. So should I just be accepted on that grounds? No, I don't think so. The disability, put that aside, I don't think there's anything special about her face. It doesn't have an edgy, high fashion, high cheekbone, modelly look. I think this is just total tokenism based on his characteristics. Pretty passable, to be honest. Let's look at this one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
A lot of these people, can argue about the dresses, but then they have something bizarre in their head. In this case, I don't know, what is she trying to be? Some sort of alien fencer? That is Katy Perry, in case you weren't wondering.
Kim, to your left.
So this honestly isn't too bad. This is Kim Kardashian, and I mean, her face and hair looks great, I have to say. But there were comments online comparing this look to a traffic cone, which is quite funny. She was getting that like Battlestar Galactica, Zelda kind of look with the armor and the boobs. But then I don't think it works with that dress kind of skirt thing going on at the bottom. I don't know. I mean, maybe mid-tier for this one. The back doesn't look bad, actually. Okay, here's one of my favorites. Whoopi Goldberg.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm well.
Good. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Whoop. I'm from New York.
Cool. NYC is in the house. Stop playing. Yeah. You see your fit today. Describe it for us.
It's whatever Tom Brown thought he could make to make me look fabulous, and I do.
You do look fabulous.
Yes, I do.
You look amazing.
Thank you, honey.
Oh my God. You see the look. Everything.
See the kicks?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard for me to take her seriously, again, because so many of these celebrities have just tarnished their talent because they have turned into such raging woke socialists. And her show on The View is just totally insufferable. I mean, all the stuff over Trump, the election, Kamala Harris, she said that being a black person in America is just as hard as being a woman in Iran, which is disgraceful. And, I don't even really look at the outfit when I see her. But again, it's just, I mean, is this high fashion? You could kind of argue the suit thing going on, but then I don't understand this coat. Is that like attached to the outfit? I don't know, but overall, she just kind of looks like someone working in like a movie theater or a cinema. So she's been downgraded there. So look at this person, right? No idea who she was, but Elisa Liu shows off her Met Gala dress. I think she's an athlete for Vogue magazine after being labeled among the worst dressed. And what's odd about this is I can't say I really like the look, but this is one of the most normal outfits I've seen so far. It is a dress that, has a very complicated lower half. And the hair is terrible, but honestly, this was the worst dress. Obviously, subtlety is not what we're going for in this Met Gala. Sergey Brin becomes the only celebrity to stand up for Iranians during the Met Gala by wearing a pin. Nice to see this. I mean, personally, I don't want to see kind of any political statements on celebrities. I just, want them to do their jobs. But it's nice to see, if we're going to have that, it's nice to see some balance when we don't see any other celebrities talking about Iran. They're all about Palestine, right? Now, this one upset me, okay? Because this is the guy from Heated Rivalry, which I've not seen yet, but everyone's talking about as, the latest and greatest gay, steamy, sex-filled show. So I might check it out at some stage. Is it worth it? Let me know. And let's look at his outfit. So at first, he's wearing a nice kind of suit sort of thing going on with a tail. And let's have a look. Okay, so he takes the jacket off, and he has a kind of halter neck type thing. And look at those arms. I mean, they're pretty amazing. Now, I really don't see an issue with this. Maybe you guys disagree. I still think it's okay for gay men to sometimes experiment with slightly more feminine looks. In fact, it's pretty subtle. I think he looks good. And considering he has the arms for it, I'm all more there for it. But it really upset me to see the level of hate he's got online. And Ollie London, I think, is just such a grifter. He's a gay man himself who has got the most outrageous amount of plastic surgery on his face, previously identified as a woman. So how can he talk about masculinity? Here he says, what happened to masculinity? And I commented on this saying, nothing wrong with this. I, for one, think he looks great. And as if you could ever have arms like this. I was disappointed, to be honest, there's 43 comments there. Nearly every single one of them were extremely homophobic, calling me a fag. Online hate does nothing to me, compared to everything else. It really doesn't faze me. But we talk about, the homophobia from the left and the trans community. But there's a rise of homophobia from the right, the Christian right, the far right nationalists online. And time will tell whether that is, just a very tiny group of people who don't have any political standing, or if their movement will grow. And I think unless we sort out some of the woke shit, it will grow. Now, this was a PETA activist dressed as a bird to protest celebrities wearing feathers. I'm not for the political statements. It's a high fashion event. Wear something kick-ass. Wear something weird if you want to, sure. Why do celebrities always think they have to guide our political opinions? I don't get it. This woman, Lena Dunham, turns heads while wearing a gigantic dress covered in feathers. The actress previously pledged to flee America after Trump won his first presidency, but failed to live up to her promise. That's funny, right, if that's true. Looks terrible, in my opinion. Again, a lot of these people could fit in a pantomime. And throwback to this one of AOC, the Democrat. She wore this in 2021, saying tax the rich, which is rich, right? Because she takes private jets across the world and obviously has a lot of money herself. Here's a little montage of some of the other looks that we saw the night. Okay, so some hands. This is Naomi Osaka, tennis star. Don't mind it. They, them again. Don't know who she is. That's okay. Yeah. No. Looks like she fell in a bucket of tinsel. No. Don't get it. Strange? Freaky. Apparently this person's non-binary or gender fluid. God, some of these outfits just look so uncomfortable. Okay, we have the hand trends on the breasts. Let's say that's objectifying female bodies. There's a lot of kind of royal type garb going on. No, I'm not here for that. Looks ugly. So, you know, there's obviously going to be an array of very strange, wacky outfits of this. I'm not against that, of course, but at least look hot in it. I mean, this kind of gargoyle type honey, I don't know. I don't think she's gonna, or he, or whoever this is gonna really garner much romantic interest on the night. There's Madonna, actually, dressed as a ship. I'm not really a fan of outfits that require a team of people to assist you in moving around. But, you know, she is a diva, so I guess I'll grant her that. There's Serena Williams, I think almost getting at something for me, but the material actually looks really cheap. It kind of looks like tinfoil. But I think this could have been nice. I mean, the rest of her looks good. Her body looks hot. And then I just want to touch on a few just normal outfits, which I quite like. Here's Tate McRae, and I think this is stunning. Love the golds, touch of gladiator, feathering, boobs look great, dress, I love it. High fashion, but it's not too much in your face. And there is Sabrina Carpenter. Now, I don't really know if I love this, but I think this is more fitting in the high fashion without having another human being attached to the back of you or dressing up like a gargoyle. I'm not really one normally for celebrity culture and Hollywood culture. It doesn't interest me whatsoever. I just thought this was fun. I thought some of the looks were funny. And what gets me are the kind of woke looks for people who are so out of touch, who think they need to tell everyone about their politics when we just want them to, you know, be a good actor, perform well, which many of them do, be people we can look up to in that way. So let me know what you think. Which outfits did you rate? Which did you not? And with that said, I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye.